Good morning, Wednesday. Hope you guys are doing awesome today. It's been another beautiful day. Just waiting on Facebook. Come on, Facebook. There we go. All right, let's see. Oh, man, it is awesome out. Good morning, Andrea. Make sure the chat works. And it does. Cool. So, yes, good morning. Happy Wednesday. We're fast approaching Father's Day, or just Saturday if you don't have kids. So, you know, if you have any fathers out there, don't be bashful. Get them something. Get them something good. My dad's a pain in the ass to buy for, so we kind of got him covered this year, though. I'm pretty pumped about that. So, sounds like Twitch is up as well. All right. So, good morning, guys. It is Wednesday the 17th. We are officially more than halfway through June, which is crazy, especially if you live in central New York, because it's still we're still basically shut down. In sort of good news, I did read the other day that Europe has basically opened its borders to everybody but the United States. So that's progress. Like they're allowing, because over there you can kind of, like the borders over there are kind of like the states are here. You can drive from New York to Pennsylvania to Massachusetts, probably not in that order. Pretty easily versus, here we have to stop to get into Canada, stop to get into Mexico. Over there, it's not like that. So, but they're starting to open up their borders again, which means that they were like 2 weeks ahead of us with the whole COVID stuff. So, hopefully that's a positive sign for us that, we'll be able to, begin our international travel again, as well as accept international travel again, which is really it's important to me because we want our Francie to come from Italy. So today is something that I heard. Tim Ferriss was talking to a comic in one of his interviews, and basically what they were talking about was not quite hypnosis, because I've never done that, so I don't know if it's, I don't know anything about it. I don't want to say that it's not real, but I don't know that it actually works. I think that some people are more susceptible to it than others. Some people it may not work on. Some people it may. But what he was talking about was affirmations. And if you write down an affirmation of goal 15 times a day, eventually that starts to align itself. And it makes sense to me because if I write down, if I have a goal of doing Ironman, obviously I've already done Ironman, but let's say that I have a goal of doing Ironman and I've never done Ironman. And I say, and every day I write down, I am going to complete Ironman Lake Placid. I am going to complete Ironman Lake Placid. As I'm writing that down 15 times, like physically, pen, paper, write it down 15 times. What starts to happen is, because you're doing this every single day, you start greasing the groove in a sense of you're taking on, like, as you're writing it, you're also thinking, what will it take to do that? What do I have to do? So if my goal is I am going to lose 10 pounds. I'm going to lose 10 pounds. Whatever that goal is, I'm going to improve my nutrition. You're already, like, as soon as, like, by the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 12th, 14th, 15th time, you're already thinking about changes that you have to start making. And they might not be significant changes. It might be like, oh, I've got to eat less candy bars, or, and one of those thoughts would be like, it means I have to cut soda out of my life. It's not a primary thought. but it still passes through. And then over time, you start to make those changes. Now, it's not going to be like I'm going to write it out 15 times. I'm never going to detention again, which maybe that's why they did it in school. I'd have to go back and ask all of my teachers that made me write that nonsense on the chalkboard. You know, but it's one of those things that I think is really important. And I want a lot of you to try that, because a lot of people, again, like we go through waves with everything. Like we'll go through a good, let's call it a good phase with our nutrition where, you know, the choices we make are just really good. And then we go through a phase where the choices we make are not really good. And the alcohol consumption is too high and the desserts are too high. And, you know, and it seems as though those things typically happen in the same window. So that could be a tool for you to be able to utilize and say, you know what, every day I'm going to write this down for the month of July. Every day I'm going to write down, I am going to stick to my plan. I'm going to drink a gallon of water a day. I'm going to drink, you know, blah, blah. Whatever that goal might be, I'm going to walk for 30 minutes a day. And you're writing it down 15 times. How long will that take you? Not long at all. It was kind of a rhetorical question. So hopefully you weren't sitting at home saying 8 minutes, or maybe 3 minutes, maybe 2. But, you know, you go through that act. And again, it's small acts like this, 2 minutes on this, 2 minutes on being mindful, or 5 minutes on mindfulness, whichever. It's, you know, taking these little windows of time, and you can do that very easily by, you know, looking at your calendar and seeing like, oh, okay, I have a break from this time to this time in my day. In, you know, in growing that and saying, this is where I'm going to work on those 2 habits. And again, it's the act of working on those habits that's going to help you to move forward. It's those little things that are going to help you become the better version of you that you're working towards. I don't think anyone out there is trying to become worse than they already are. I truly don't. Truly believe everybody is looking for some level of growth, whether it's with your food, whether it's with your fitness, whether it's with your health, whether it's with your relationships. So these are tools that you can use to slowly start to make that improvement. And maybe it affects more than one area. You know, work on, you know, kind of step back and look and say like, all right, what is like the big snowball for me? Like there's one thing. If there's one thing that kind of like sets the stage and then I just fall off the deep end, really, what is the one thing that leads me to do that? Start with that one, because changing one of the tertiary levels isn't as big as if we take a step at the higher levels. You know, for example, if you know, my relationship with my wife, which, by the way, my relationship with my wife is awesome, because, I mean, who wouldn't want to be married to this? For real. No, I'm kidding. It's really the other way around. I kind of bring her down a little bit, but, you know, that's good for her. You know, but if my relationship with my wife was not great, and it was super stressful, and every day she comes home from a hard day of work and all she does is she complains about work and then complains about me and then complains about the kids. And then I go and I have my 6 beers and eat crappy food. It's like, all right, fixing my food is important, but fixing my relationship is more important. Morning, Candace. So what I mean by that is, you know, spend more time working on that relationship aspect, because again, if your wife comes home and she's like, hey honey, I hope you had a great day. You know, my day sucked, but you know what? It's work. I'm not there. Let's do something fun with the kids. And all of a sudden you're like, yeah, you know what? Now I'm not even thinking about food, because I'm like, wow, what happened? What happened to my wife? You know, so address the larger issue and then start working your way down. Because again, if you work upstream, a lot of times the upstream problems, once you can eliminate them, then all of a sudden downstream you're fine, right? So I think that's, and again, like that takes a little bit of effort to step back and look and be like, why do I put off doing all of my workouts? Why do I start out strong in the beginning of the week and then I fade on Thursday, and all I want to do is go to happy hour, and then Friday's, happy hour, and then Saturday, the weekend's here, and by Monday, I'm starting all over again. What's the catalyst that's happening? Maybe it's that on Thursday, every Thursday you go to happy hour with your buddies, your pals, and whatever, and next thing you know, like the next 3 days are spent. So it's like, maybe you should change your Thursday. How do you do that? Test it. You think your friends are really going to disown you if you say like, hey guys, can't make it this Thursday. Me and my wife are taking the kids to the park, or I'm going to go, to the gym, or I'm going to go do something constructive. What will happen? Will they really disown you? If so, then are they really your friends? I think that's a conversation you should have with yourself. But again, start that with this affirmation of, I am not going to go to happy hour, or I am not going to drink at happy hour. Come ride bikes with Matt instead. Wednesday nights, folks. Wednesday nights, Tour de Matt. It's like the Tour de France, only a month earlier, and maybe like 1,280 miles shorter, roughly. So come ride with Matt on Wednesday nights. Trek in New Hartford, shameless plug for the guys over there. A close second place Trek of New Hartford is to Syracuse Bike. But those are things that you can do. Is like, I'm not going to drink at happy hour. I'm going, come up with a plan so that, and write it out 15 times. You do that every day. When you get there, you're more likely to make that, when you're more likely to make that stick. So that's it for today, folks. Write down your affirmations 15 times with your pen, with your paper, every day, of what your goals are. And again, look at those goals from the macro level. What's the most important? Again, don't worry about the tertiary stuff right now. Work backwards. Work on the big stuff, and then let's see how that trickle effect down is. And again, this is not something that's going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in a week. It might take a month, but it's the act of you becoming hyper conscious about it that you truly do want to see that change, and you're going to start to implement that. So have a great day. Think of, advanced cyclery. Think positive for 3 to 5 people. All you got to do is think, I hope someone has a great day. Input their name in there, and do it for a few other people. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Andrea, I can't support that comment, so I'm sorry about putting you on blast. Nope. Sorry. Can't do it. Syracuse Bicycle, Trek in New Hartford, Trek stores. Because Trek Bicycles is where it's at. Have a great day, guys. Have a happy Wednesday. Have a happy June 17th. And I will see you guys mañana. That's tomorrow for those of you who don't understand Spanish, like me.